All right, everybody, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive, and we're looking into a case that captivated the world. Disappearance of Natalee Holloway.
Yeah, a case that has baffled investigators and the public, really, since it happened back in 2005.
2005, an 18-year-old just graduated high school, celebrating in Aruba of all places, and then vanishes.
Vanishes without a trace and no real answers.
So for anyone who maybe isn't as familiar with the case, let's set the scene a little bit. Aruba, May 2005, a group of high school grads are on this trip celebrating.
Carefree atmosphere, beaches, parties, the whole graduation trip vibe.
Right, exactly. And Natalee is last seen leaving a nightclub with this guy, Joran Vandersloot, and two brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo.
Right, and Vandersloot, he almost immediately becomes a person of interest.
Yeah, you can't help but zero in on him, especially when you hear about his ever-changing story.
Yeah, he gave several different accounts of what happened that night.
Right, first he says he dropped Natalee back at her hotel.
Right, then the story changes. He says they were on the beach together.
Then something about a security guard.
It's like every time he opened his mouth, a new version came out.
Which just raises more red flags.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even before Natalee's disappearance, Vandersloot had a bit of a reputation.
Oh, really? What kind of reputation are we talking about?
Well, let's just say he was known for being a little impulsive, sometimes aggressive kind of a gambler, too.
Huh. So that combined with the shifting stories definitely paints a less than trustworthy picture.
For sure. And, you have to think about Natalee's family going through all this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, every parent's worst nightmare.
Sending your kid off on a trip, expecting them to have a great time, and then getting that call.
And it's just a parent's worst nightmare.
It is. And Natalee's mother, Beth Holloway, she really became the driving force in the search.
She did. I mean, talk about a mother's love.
Absolutely. I mean, she flew back and forth to Aruba, I don't know how many times, organizing search parties.
Meeting with anyone and everyone.
Even confronting Vandersloot multiple times, trying to get him to crack.
Just the dedication and the sheer willpower is just incredible.
Incredible and heartbreaking at the same time.
Absolutely. So we have this prime suspect, we have this desperate search, but then the legal side of things gets really tricky.
Oh, yeah, very tricky because Aruba's legal system, it's based on Dutch law.
Right. So how does that play into the investigation?
Well, it makes things really complicated, for one thing. The burden of proof is different in Aruba.
Different how so?
Like, in the U.S., you can arrest someone on suspicion while you're gathering evidence. In Aruba, it's a lot harder to hold someone without really solid proof.
So even though Vandersloot is looking more and more suspicious, they can't just keep him locked up.
Exactly. And that really hampered the investigation.
So no wonder this case has generated so many theories.
Exactly. Tons of theories.
What are some of the more prevalent ones?
Well, you have the accidental death theories. Maybe she wandered off drunk, got disoriented, had an accident. Or even drowning. Maybe she went for a swim and something happened.
Then there's the foul play angle.
Right. Some people believe Vandersloot was involved and maybe disposed of her body.
And I think there was even talk of human trafficking.
Given Aruba's location, it's not impossible, but there's never been any solid evidence to support that.
So many possibilities.
Yeah.
So much ambiguity. It's almost worse than having no leads at all.
It really is. And, this whole case, it had a ripple effect far beyond just the immediate investigation.
What do you mean?
Well, think about Aruba's tourism industry.
Oh, right.
All the negative media attention, the unsolved mystery, it really hurt their image. People started getting nervous about traveling there.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, would you want a vacation in a place where an 18-year-old girl could just vanish?
Probably not, and that had economic consequences for the island, too.
So the impact was far-reaching. But then you have Beth Holloway turning her grief into action.
Absolutely. She became an advocate for travel safety, especially for young people.
Right, pushing for Natalee's Law.
A bill designed to improve safety measures for student travelers going abroad.
So even in this tragedy, something positive emerged.
Definitely. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there can be a glimmer of hope and a push for change.
A young woman's life cut short, a mother who never gave up hope, and a suspect who's never been definitively linked to the crime.
A case that highlights the complexities of international law enforcement, the limitations of different legal systems.
And it reminds us that some mysteries may never be fully solved.
It makes you think about the fragility of life, doesn't it? And how important it is to cherish every moment.
It does, because you never know when it might be your last.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with that lingering question, what really happened to Natalee Holloway?
A question that may forever remain unanswered.
And a reminder that even in paradise, darkness can lurk in the shadows.
A chilling thought, and a fitting end to our deep dive into this tragic and enduring mystery.
A mystery that continues to fascinate and haunt us all these years later.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Until then, stay curious and stay safe,
And never stop searching for the truth.
even when the truth seems impossible to find.
And that's our show for today. Thanks for listening.